G'day, this is Captainoob and this is a YK42B pulse rifle. This thing looks straight out of Old World Blues, doesn't it? It's glorious. Anyways, this is a highly customizable standalone energy weapon that uses the laser musket animations, which is somewhat rare for weapon mods to actually use those, but we're making good use out of that. I don't particularly rate the laser musket too much in the vanilla game. I think it's terrible, so hopefully with this thing we'll be able to modify it for it to actually kill stuff that is, you know, stronger than bloatflies. So we're sitting at 169 damage, and that is per crank, and we can get those cranks all the way up to 6. Which sounds pretty powerful, right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because we can change the barrels, and if we go all the way down here, this neutrino disperser, the short barrel with the neutrino disperser, gives us 675 damage, and that times 6 is let's see, I'm not a calculator, but I know that's going to be a whole lot of damage, although we're going to get a half damage penalty thanks to good old very hard difficulty, so we'll chuck that on and we'll move on. Now the sights are pretty stock standard here. You've got reflex sights, standard sights, which are a little nothing. Fortunately, you can see over those sights, but they're not honestly all that useful. We'll just go for a little bit of a reflex sight there, which is a circle. I wonder if we'll get a little reticule with that. I imagine we would. And we can have some extra bits on our muzzle thing here. So beam focuser, beam splitter if we want to make this a shotgun, a cattle prod, which I guess is like a bayonet, which is kind of cool. It looks like a robot repair kit thing there. That's a nice reuse of in-game assets there, and this beam focuser will increase our range and accuracy even more so than this beam focuser, so that'll make up slightly for our shorter barrel losing off range. Now it can change between a short stock, which actually requires duct tape, so I can't actually attach that, but a marksman stock will give us a better recoil and better aim with scopes. We haven't got a scope on this, so whatever. Honestly, I should probably put a short scope on this because it's got a reflex sight. We'll definitely make a sniper version of these a little bit later, but it's worth noting we've also got a legendary effect here if we so need it. So with all of those customization options out of the way, let's get started. There we go, now it's got the short stock on it, or no stock at all, and this is going to be our sniper looking one. Looks pretty cool, right? Alrighty, so here we are outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. Pretty far outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza, but I want to get into some sniping before too long. That's what we look like in third person. Animations line up flawlessly for the most part, so that's pretty cool. And this is the one with the rifleman stock, blah blah blah, longer barrel, less damage but more range I suppose. So let's get started, shall we? Let's go for our sniper one. We'll make sure we crank that up to the fullest before we take out some of these gunners. We'll take some cover up behind these trees I suppose, and we'll scope in and try to kill these guys. There's some stomping behind me. I don't know what that is. That might be me. I'm not used to the footsteps in this game, apparently. Alright, that one's sitting there reading something, and we didn't hit them. We'll try again. Nah, didn't hit him. We'll move a little bit closer this time. Didn't hit him. Now we're in caution, because they know something's going on. Still didn't hit him. Okay, I think this thing has a bit of a sniping problem. Why would you put a long scope on this and, you know, have the bullets fizzle out of existence before they even reach their target? Why have a close range weapon with a long range scope? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm getting torn to shreds by those gunners, so I'm just going to step out of the firing line and approach Gunners Plaza from this angle. See, when we actually get the shots on them with this thing, I'm going to go run crank, and it'll probably be enough to kill them. Almost. If you get a headshot on that, it'll probably be enough to kill him. You've got your head buried in a wall, so I'm not going to bother hitting you in the head. But still, this thing has plenty of power, but just doesn't have the range. I don't know why it wouldn't have the range. It makes no sense. Is that a lot of bash damage for it too, or is that just a critical strike? No, that was probably just a coincidence. Up close and personal, we'll have no problem taking out these guys. And if you look at the bullet explosion, it looks like it's got a little pulse grenade explosion, which sounds kind of cool. And I heard a stealth boy. Yeah, nothing gets past me these days, mate. My eyes are like eagle eyes, although I don't get the critical benefits or strength nerfs. There we go. So you actually do get a little bit of an explosive effect with that pulse grenade explosion too. It's not all there for show. Can we actually bounce splash damage off the ground to get somebody though? That's the question. If I crank this up all the way and hit in their general direction, that might have been a direct hit. I don't really know. Alright, we're in nerd rage at this point, which means slow motion targeting and a little bit of health regen on our kills. We got XP there. I must have shot 2 people at once, but yeah, we're definitely doing the job when it comes to damage. It's just that if they're a little bit too far out, you just can't hit them. It's like even over there before, you saw how much range this doesn't have. I'm guessing those blokes down there can't be hit, so it just makes me question why you'd put on a long scope on this if you can't sit back and snipe with it. I'd imagine it'd make a pretty good sniping weapon. I can't even hit that guy over there. Let's just use this scope just to make sure, because I might be missing with the reflex sight. Sometimes it's a little bit deceiving. No, I can't actually hit him. But if I try that, so let's see how we go with that over there. Oh! Well, I can hit that one. Well, that sort of confirms the splash damage thing then. Shoot you. A lot of suppressing fire happening at the moment. Kind of pinned down here, but that's okay. We've got energy shielding, which means we're safe from all of these bullets. You see how there's no blood splatting around at this at all? There's no blood because I've got them protected with energy shields, you see. And, ooh, even with a critical I missed there. That's a rare fucking occurrence in Fallout 4 to miss a critical. Wowee. So, yeah, we're pretty much dead to rights at this point. There's like a couple of things we could do here and there to get ourselves a little bit better off. We could do chems, but I ain't no chem person. Kylie don't do no chems. That's Rain's job to test things with chems. We should be okay. We'll have 1 or 2 cranks, I think, and then just let bats finish him off. Ooh, except for that person. That person survived. Not for long, though. Maybe I hit him with 1 crank instead of 2 cranks. Was that a sniper knockdown? I feel like I saw a sniper knockdown there. You can stop shooting at me. And an instant health regen on leveling up means we can Rambo this up a little bit, I suppose. This one's got slightly better damage, so 2 cranks and a shot in the head should do you in. So an odd weapon this thing is. I'm not sure if it was intended not to be a sniper weapon, but that's certainly the case with this thing. Maybe those are meant to be like short range barrels because they do have a little bit of an explosion on them, so you're not supposed to snipe with the overpowered barrels. Maybe those overpowered barrels are meant for close quarter situations in this one, like this one, where you're getting shot and you need that high damage output to get you out of potential trouble that you're in. Just testing out the splash damage here. My aim isn't that bad, but it appears that the splash damage is a lot smaller than you'd get out of your basic legendary explosive guns in this game, so that's worth noting, I suppose. You can stop hiding behind a tree. I missed in that. Good shot. And again, you know what? I'm just going to bash you to death. Take this. That's better. Alright, just a couple left now. There's the wall that I haven't decided to breach yet, but we'll quickly take out the rest of these blokes. Get in. Where does our range start and end? That's my question. Go for a critical there. Hopefully you won't run outside of range whilst I'm taking the shot, which they didn't. Thankful for that. And now we'll kill this person. There we go. Free critical there. We'll quickly hop up the stairs, open the door, and then we'll kill everyone inside that little room.
Got it.
Got it all right. And a 6 crank shot on you, and then a 6 crank shot on you. We really want to make sure these guys are dead. And with that, we've cleared out Gunner's Plaza of the immersive variety, with getting shot quite a bit, but the energy shield, it held up pretty well, didn't it? We didn't get killed there. It almost got killed. We pushed the energy shields to the absolute limit. I don't know why it's marked with HP. Maybe the HUD element there is a little bit strange. Okay, we'll just move on to something else. Alrighty, so now I've got slightly different laser musket looking things in our inventory. I've just changed up the barrel, so now it's a quantum amplifier instead of the other one, so hopefully with those we can actually get some range out of this, and instead of using the reflex sight one, I feel like using the one with the long scope is going to be a little bit easier dealing with targets at range. That is, if we can actually hit these things. Huh. And just so you know, this one does have the long quantum amplifier, or the short one or something. Yeah, so it's not like it's not doing like the same thing as the short one, but I don't know, is that a little bit more distance? I'm not really sure, but for some reason this thing just doesn't carry its damage over a long way. And the sound, I think, is more akin to hearing NPC fire this weapon than actually firing it in first person. That's why it feels so kind of weak, or maybe it's supposed to be like half quiet by design there. What are you doing, by the way? Oh, you're dead. You're just sort of doing weird death spasms. Never mind. But even with the slightly nerfed power and the not explosive impact of this projectile, we can actually still do a ton of damage, especially with the full cranked musket here. So let's see this Super Mutant Warlord get his ass kicked by a Dusky Yaoguai, then immediately finish off the Dusky Yaoguai with a little bit of sneak attack crittery. Why the hell not, eh? And that might have been the Patrolman too, so he would have lost his doggo, which is somewhat good news, I suppose. We should be right to take out all the Super Mutants we see here. Ooh, we actually didn't take out that man. And we're a little bit out of range here. Can I please tell me I can shoot that spotlight? Okay, good. At least we can get some stealth out of this, I suppose. Actually, might as well switch over to our short barrel one now. Since we're in close quarter situations, no point on having a giant scope to make our aim go bad in close quarters. There we go. We can actually one-shot a Super Mutant in the head without the use of sneak attack criticals. And that one was obviously a low level. We only gave me 32 XP. So with that in mind, we can probably effectively just run up to these Super Mutants, and as long as we're accurate enough, we can probably kill these guys. I mean, within like a very limited range, obviously, but still. Who else has actually seen me? Those two in there. I'll swing around to those ones later. There's usually a couple at the shooting range. There's one. I smelled your fear. Is that a thing you can smell? I think dogs can smell something like that. It's something that your body does when it's scared or something. Is it like pheromones? I don't really know. What I do know is my stupid computer is now stuttering, but that's okay. So a full crank, 6 shots in this thing will pretty much knack a Super Mutant Warlords, which is pretty fucking good, to be honest. These guys are tanky as hell. So seeing them get knocked down a few pegs by a laser musket weapon of all things is actually kind of satisfying. Good luck using an actual laser musket on these guys, and I tried to steady my scope despite using a reflex sight. That one is only a skirmisher, so I expect we're out of range for him. That's why I can't kill him despite aiming right at him. There we go. I'm not really sure if the range change is sort of minimal on this barrel, but yeah, it's a little bit underwhelming sometimes when you line up a shot, take it, and then it just doesn't hit because the weapon just doesn't reach out far enough. Honestly, I kind of feel like that's a bug, but if it's actually a thing that's supposed to happen, it's a shame. It's a real shame that you can't snipe with this thing, because this is a really good endgame alternative for a shitty laser musket, so it's something you could actually use. Maybe you could, like, theorize it's some sort of prototype laser musket. Maybe the Institute had something to do with it. There's a little bit of blue stuff in there. Interesting, the laser is, like, the glow on this weapon is still red, so it might be early days for this mod, but there's a couple things to improve on, but on the whole, this thing is actually a pretty solid weapon mod. Just get rid of this light before I get spotted by old mate Gerald. Now, I've got to make sure which one I have with the most damage. They both have 380. Okay. Must have both chosen the short barrel just for damage output reasons. So let's see what we can do against Gerald. Unfortunately, if this thing was an actual sniper weapon, I'd be engaging him from all the way back there, but I kind of don't have a choice, do I? So what I'll do is I'll just keep on hitting him. No penetrator perk works with this either. That means it's like a physical projectile instead of a hit scan projectile. And look at all those AP we get for a shot. I'm just going to keep hitting him with the one crank, see if that's actually worth doing. Probably not, no. I wouldn't say so. We are in danger now, so we'll quickly run into the servo. We'll pick up a pie and a Coke on the way home, though. It's probably time for eating for Kylie, but yep. Alright, we'll just go ahead and try to target him some more as the game loads in NPCs, which I am not going to engage. I need to figure out how to optimize this game better. Alright, back in the caution for now. We'll go for a critical. Got him all mutated. And then we instantly die. Good stuff. I no quitter though. I'm going to take him out. This time I'm just going to skip all of the other enemies that are around here, including the gunners. I think the Super Mutants will take care of those guys. If anything, that'd be a worthy distraction for killing those bastards, but still. Go back into sneak mode. I found out where he keeps his cronies. that's them sitting over there. Okay, game's not stuttering now. Man, that's so fucking annoying. I need to have a look at that. 15,000 damage for a sneak attack critical. That's insane. Okay, now we're just using non-sneak attack criticals, and we still hit him enough to get him all nice and mutated. Avoid that damage with a little bit of Bat's defense, and now we can cower and hide in here. I've already killed enough gunners today, so let's just breeze through these guys, a little bit of gun fu. 1 crank, 1 kill. 236 damage is enough for you. Probably won't be enough for this guy though. I need a little bit more out of that. Fortunately, the super mutants nearby will be helping me take out these gunners too. It's kind of like an all-in brawl at the moment.
Emergency protocols 17 Echo Charlie 9 are in effect.
Alright, we're back into caution now, which means we will be able to take out old mate Gerald in a second. Hopefully we'll get another 15,000 damage hit on him. Unlikely. Interestingly, I couldn't take out that super mutant one shot. I guess I didn't add a critical to the mix either. But honestly, these guys are as much of a threat sometimes as Gerald, so I'll quickly clear these guys out as fast as I can. Alright, where is he? Where's old mate? He's actually gone and run off down there and take on something else. Crit. Dead. Taking a direct missile hit, but that's okay, because we're a tanky Fallout 4 protagonist. We're fine. And we're back into caution yet again. I'm guessing Swan is aggroed by a Raider survivalist. Okay, you've got to go, mate. You're aggroing Gerald, and making my life harder, so you've got to go. And we're still in danger, but he's not moving, so if you're not going to move, I'm just going to use you to calculate how much damage we can get onto you. Yes, despite doing a whole lot of damage, the T2K and DPS of this thing is not that good, since you'll be spending a lot of time cranking the shit out of this. I like how it desyncs the cranking when you've got the rapid reload perks. That's kind of cute. Go for 2 more criticals on him. Well, if anything, it's good to show off the damage, but there's no difficulty. I guess he feels bad for insta-killing me before. I don't really care. He is dead now, and now we can, I think I'm going to call it a video there. So, there you have it, a rapid Gauss rifle, how useless. So, if you'd like to see this thing in your game, check out the description, there shall be a link down there. Honestly, I feel like the range things should be looked at, make this thing have, you know, the usual range of a laser musket type weapon, which is generally whatever you can see you can hit within reason. Obviously, things that are like, you'd only be able to see with a 40 times scope, you can't hit those, but make it the standard range, and I think this one will be an actually endgame viable weapon for a laser musket Minuteman build sort of thing if you're into that role-playing in Fallout 4. So yeah, that's a pretty solid weapon. My seal of approval, if that means anything, it doesn't. Thank you for watching, guys.